Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk some more about Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. This is an incredibly exciting upcoming game. It's a game that honestly, if you'd showed me the trailer and you didn't tell me the title, I'd be like, is this Neo 3? Because this game looks hella cool and has so many components in that I love in my games. So today I want to talk about it because they recently dropped a trailer that showed off some gameplay. Obviously when they first announced it, it was more so a cinematic trailer, but now we've seen the gameplay. Oh my gosh, this game looks crispy. The motion, the combat, everything looks hella smooth, and it is definitely something that I cannot wait to play. So in this video, I want to talk about the gameplay and also give you guys a quick recap on the game itself in case you haven't been following it too much and you want to know what to expect in this title. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if this is your kind of game. And of course, do be sure to keep it locked because as and when we do find out more about this game, as when we get to play it, I will definitely bring you guys some more content. So, to begin with, first things first, not long ago, again, we got our first glimpse at the new game from Team Ninja, the makers of many great titles, of course, things like Ninja Gaiden, Neo, other things like that. But recently, they released their first gameplay trailer for this brand new game called Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and they also shared some additional details, which is kind of handy because the game looks hella cool. But the initial reveal, when they first showed it off, was kind of bare bones, so it's nice to actually have some greater context. So, to begin with, again, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, coming from Team Ninja. Team Ninja, of course, recently made Neo 2. That would probably have been one of the last games you played from them. That game was hella cool, played through that whole thing co-op, really enjoyed that. And this is definitely seen as a spiritual successor because it has a lot of sort of Souls-like gameplay and sort of elements that are very akin to both Neo, also some things from like Sekiro, other stuff like that. Basically, if you like these kinds of games, this should vibe with you. The game's going to be released on both PC and consoles, and the launch is sometime early next year. Currently no exact date, but we do have early 2023. We currently know the story follows an unnamed militia through a dark fantasy version of China during the later Han Dynasty. The player will have to battle both demons and historical figures, some of which we've already seen in the trailers. Some of the new information we just found out though is how long the game will take to complete. The producer Masaki Yamagiwa has actually said in interviews the game will take normal players around 40 hours to complete, so it is going to be pretty meaty, and obviously that will dramatically increase or decrease depending on how good you are at the game, and of course, you know, how many times you go off the beaten track, that kind of thing. Another interesting gameplay tidbit dropped from the interview was that a change from Neo is the game will actually introduce jumping into this formula, allowing for greater exploration throughout the game world. That kind of reminds me of sort of when Sekiro had the more sort of free movement. Honestly, I do love when games have jumping. Listen, right, I'm a platform fan. I just like jumping in video games. Jumping and grappling hooks make me happy. So the fact you can jump in this, having that freedom to explore is definitely going to make for both some exciting exploration and also probably many accidental deaths. Of course, with the introduction of jumping, stages are now larger and more vertical, which means more content for players to sink their teeth into. We also got confirmation the game will allow for the same quest-based mission structure of the Neo games, and the stages will allow for completion in a variety of different ways. So basically, instead of sort of exploring a fully open world, you'll sort of go into different stages and run through them like that. We will be getting more gameplay during Tokyo Game Show, as the team said they'll have a large gameplay reveal during the show for players to look forward to. But with that being said, that's a quick recap on the information so far, so let's quickly run through the new trailer because honestly there are some really cool things. Of course, firstly, you just have like a lot of sort of nice scenery, definitely some things that, again, like I said before, if you didn't tell me this was called Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, I initially would have thought this was Neo. The first sort of creature, that weird looking bird creature, looks hella cool, but then we get straight into combat. And honestly, right from the get-go, the fluidity of this, the fact this is sort of a, you know, there's a lot of Chinese martial arts in this, the sort of combat style, you can really see that just woven into all the different combat elements. I love the sort of artistry and the way that you just like dance around and just flip over the enemies. It just looks hella smooth. You also notice in some of the enemies the sort of red energy in the middle where of course, you know, I assume, keep in mind, without going hands-on, without sort of getting the mechanical breakdown, all of this stuff is speculation, but if any of you guys have played like Sekiro, when of course you can focus on the sort of red zones for some of the takedowns, that is, that definitely kind of like gives me that sort of vibe when you see some of the combat in action. You of course get a nice sort of showcase of jumping into the sky and slamming down on the enemy, which of course is another nice thing that having the freedom to jump will open up. That's also something that was hella awesome in things like Elden Ring, so cannot wait to test that out in greater detail. We of course have parries when you sort of see this little boss style combat here, of course, so you know, that is clearly one of those things that I'm never too great at in these games, but the parry system will of course be woven into it. We of course also see some of the like noteworthy characters in some of the cutscenes, and then also what could potentially be seen as sort of a co-op element, maybe not necessarily with another human, but maybe sort of alongside AI. You see them fighting on a bridge alongside another one of these characters, which looks hella cool. Also, we get to see some magical abilities as well, so it's not just, you know, fighting with your blades. You even have like the ability to summon things. Like, that looks so incredibly cool. This game just looks awesome. Then it flashes through a few of the enemies that I assume are bosses we will fight, and we then have the title. So that's pretty much it, just a super quick gameplay rundown, but this looks real cool. Definitely one of the sort of most anticipated games for next year for me, so I can't wait to find out more. Anyway, that's it for the time being. Do keep it locked. Again, once the gameplay from TGS does drop, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. But for the time being, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. If you observed anything from the trailer, definitely also point out in the comments. If you missed some of the recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones and keep it locked for plenty more.